You're invited to step into a mystery that goes beyond a missing child. It delves deep into the labyrinth of the human mind. The Madeleine McCann case, with its relentless twists and turns, forces us to confront a chilling question. What do we truly know about human behavior and how an obsession can take root, focusing on certain people or ideas? It's a stark, unsettling realization. Nearly 3/4 of those who commit offenses against children are known to the victim. This statistic forces a hard look at the presumed safety within our own communities and the vital role of understanding the intricate dynamics of family and social circles. But what happens when an intense focus isn't really about the person being watched, but about the observer's own inner turmoil, their fears and deepest insecurities? This is where the powerful concept of projective identification emerges. Imagine a psychological defense mechanism so potent it can warp reality. Projective identification, a compelling theory, suggests that people unconsciously cast their own unwanted thoughts, overwhelming feelings, or secret desires onto others. It's often a subconscious coping strategy, a way to manage anxiety and insecurity. This mechanism can create a profound distortion of reality, where what a person perceives isn't objective truth, but merely a haunting reflection of their own internal fears and unfulfilled longings. Before we analyze the suspicions in the case, please let me know where you saw this video. I will read it all and spread it around the world. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to be the first to receive notifications when there are new videos. A poignant example of this psychological process involves a father who, following the heartbreaking loss of his son, spiraled into intense self-doubt, blaming himself for the tragedy. He unknowingly projected his crippling guilt and deep-seated insecurity onto his daughter. She became the new, intense focus of his attention, not for who she was, but because she symbolized a second chance for him to prove himself a capable, loving father. This illustration vividly demonstrates how projective identification can strain not only adult relationships, but also the tender, fragile dynamics within a family, especially during a crisis. A recent revealing study on the psychology of criminal behavior uncovered that most offenders share a history marked by emotional or physical maltreatment. This suggests a profound, undeniable connection between past trauma and present actions. It compels us to understand the roots of human behavior and challenges us to ask, how can we step in and disrupt these painful cycles of neglect and abuse before they lead to destruction? So why does this matter for understanding the Madeleine McCann case and the reported behavior of an individual like David Payne? The lens of projective identification may offer a crucial answer. Consider this. What if David Payne's intense focus on the McCann children wasn't about the children themselves, but was instead an externalization of his own profound fears and insecurities? Viewing it this way peels back a deeper, more unsettling layer to the mystery. One that encompasses not just an individual's psyche, but the complex, interwoven tapestry of relationships and family dynamics. The terrible price of ignoring or failing to grasp this inner dynamic can be catastrophic, fueling further suffering and injustice. Yet, there is a path forward. By recognizing and courageously confronting these deep-seated fears and insecurities, we begin a transformative process that can reshape not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us. It's a powerful call to action. How can we harness this knowledge to build a society that is more understanding, empathetic, and ultimately safer for everyone? Now, as we weigh the heavy complexities of the Madeleine McCann case alongside the mechanics of projective identification, one critical question hangs in the air. In our own lives, how can we become aware of and address these psychological defense mechanisms to forge relationships that are more authentic and profoundly healthy? The answer may be the first vital step in unraveling not just the mystery surrounding Madeleine McCann, but also the enduring mysteries held within our own minds and hearts. It is precisely at this vital intersection of psychology and real-life human drama that we find the authentic essence of what it means to be human. It is absolutely crucial to grasp how projective identification can profoundly influence human behavior, especially when people are under immense stress and trauma. The statistic that a significant 60% of those who experience harm at the hands of an aggressor were known to them forces us to constantly question the actual safety of our environments and the absolute importance of learning to recognize subtle warning signs. Imagine the real-life scenario of a mother who, after experiencing the loss of her child, became intensely focused on protecting other children. Was she not, in a sense, projecting her own guilt and insecurity onto what seemed like a noble cause, yet one that could potentially become destructive to her own immediate family? This behavior often isn't just a healthy, straightforward response to trauma. It's a defense mechanism that risks distorting reality, where the true, painful motivations behind her actions are masked by a desperate need to escape unbearable emotional anguish. The psychological foundation of this issue aligns with Brené Brown's insightful theory of guilt and shame, which posits that people tend to externalize or project their feelings of inadequacy and guilt onto others as a powerful shield against anxiety and insecurity. The findings from a recent University of Oxford study on criminal psychology, that most offenders have a past history of emotional or physical abuse, underscore the sheer necessity of understanding the deep-seated origins of human behavior and how the experiences of our past can powerfully shape our actions today. The almost unimaginable pain that crushes families affected by offenses against children, and the collective indifference that sometimes allows such acts to occur, often points to a profound lack of empathy and understanding in our societies. The painful evidence that these offenses are frequently committed by individuals known to the victims is absolutely devastating, forcing us to re-examine the very nature of trust and human connection. Have you ever paused to wonder how someone becomes fixated on a family or individual, and what that obsession truly reveals about the deeper human condition? The answer might lie in the incredible, sometimes destructive, inventive capacity of the human mind to forge defense mechanisms as a way to cope with overwhelming anxiety and pain, even if those mechanisms lead to behaviors that are harmful. As we continue on this journey to understand the Madeleine McCann case and the psychology of projective identification, we are invited to turn inward and reflect on our own core fears and motivations. What is your deepest fear, and how do you truly manage your own anxieties and insecurities? The answer to this personal question could be the first critical step in solving not only the mystery of the McCann case, but also the ongoing mysteries of our own minds and hearts. And so, as we weigh the heavy complexities of the Madeleine McCann case alongside the mechanics of projective identification, one critical question hangs in the air. How, in our daily lives, can we become aware of and address these defense mechanisms to forge relationships that are more authentic and profoundly healthy? The answer may mark the beginning of a truly profound transformation, not only in how we see others, but, more importantly, in how we understand ourselves. Life is an intricate puzzle where every single piece represents a facet of human personality and behavior. Sometimes, to find the solution, we must carefully examine the pieces that don't seem to fit, the parts of ourselves we haven't fully grasped. Projective identification is one of those pieces, a psychological mechanism that holds the dual potential to both protect and destroy, entirely depending on how we wield it. As we venture into the depths of human psychology, we must face the reality that achieving genuine understanding of ourselves and others is a continuous, challenging process, full of unexpected revelations. The ability to recognize and confront projective identification is not merely a tool for analyzing criminal cases. It is a profound pathway to self-discovery and true empathy. And it is here, at the potent intersection of psychology and real life, that we discover the true essence of what it means to be human, vulnerable, complex, and constantly driven to seek connection and understanding. By embracing this vulnerability, we can begin to build relationships grounded not in the projection of our insecurities and fears, but on genuine understanding and deep empathy. The journey to fully grasp projective identification and its sweeping impact on our lives is a marathon, not a sprint. It is long and challenging. Yet it is also a powerful opportunity for profound growth and transformation. By acknowledging the immense complexity of the human condition and the mind's resourceful capacity for creating defense mechanisms, we can begin to unlock the mysteries of our own minds and hearts, finding ways to live with greater authenticity and connection. And so, as we bring this part of our journey to a close, we are left with a final invitation to reflect on the lessons absorbed and how we can apply them to our own lives. What is the next step you will take on your own journey of self-discovery and empathy? The answer might be the genesis of a new adventure, one that could lead you to unexpected realizations and make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself and the people around you. Life is an intricate, winding mystery, full of unexpected twists and surprising turns. But it is precisely this complexity that makes it so utterly fascinating, so bursting with possibility and discovery. And it is here, at the heart of this complexity, that we find the true essence of the human condition, the ability to love, to suffer, and to relentlessly seek understanding in a world full of mysteries and challenges. In this very moment, as we turn our gaze toward the future, we are faced with the reality that the journey to understand projective identification and its practical application is truly just beginning. There remains so much to uncover, so much to explore, and so much to learn. But it is this very journey of discovery that empowers us to grow, to transform, and to find our genuine essence as human beings. Therefore, with the deep awareness that life is a continuous process of learning and discovery, we can confidently look to the future with hope and optimism. For we know that no matter the challenges we encounter, we possess the incredible capacity to overcome them, to learn from them, and to grow as individuals. And it is in this place of hope and optimism that we discover the true strength of the human condition, the ability to persevere, to learn, and to love, even in the face of adversity. It is a strength that allows us to meet life's challenges with courage, resilience, and the certainty that in the end we can conquer any obstacle and find the happiness and fulfillment we seek. Now, as we conclude this journey of reflection and discovery, we are invited to look deeply within ourselves and ask, what does it truly mean to be human? What is your personal answer to this question? What is your unique understanding of the human condition, with all its inherent complexities, beautiful contradictions, and undeniable beauty? The answer may be the start of a brand new journey, one that will guide you to explore the deepest layers of human psychology and ultimately discover the authentic essence of the human experience. It is a demanding journey, requiring yongqi, courage, burning curiosity, and the willingness to question everything we believe we know about ourselves and others. But it is precisely this journey that allows us to grow, to transform, and to find our true essence as human beings. It is a journey that compels us to question, to seek, and to find answers to life's most profound and enduring questions. And it is here, at the heart of this journey, that we find the true essence of the human condition, the remarkable ability to seek, to question, and to find answers even in the face of deep uncertainty and the unknown. And so, as we close this chapter of our collective journey, we are invited to reflect on the lessons learned and how we can apply them to our own lives. What is the next step on your personal journey of self-discovery and empathy? The answer might be the beginning of a great new adventure, one that will take you to unexpected places and make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself and others. Life is a complex mystery, full of twists and surprising turns. But it is precisely this complexity that makes it so utterly fascinating, so rich with possibilities and discoveries. And it is here, at the heart of this complexity, that we find the true essence of the human condition, the ability to love, to suffer, and to seek understanding in a world full of mysteries and challenges. Now it is time to look to the future with hope and optimism, knowing that the journey to understand projective identification and its real-life application is only just beginning. The tapestry of human existence is rich with undiscovered threads, waiting to be woven into understanding, and it is this very journey of discovery that fuels our growth, transforming us until we find our truest selves. It is in this powerful space of hope and optimism that we witness the raw, undeniable strength of the human condition, the profound ability to persevere, to learn, and to love, even when facing the steepest adversity. This fortitude is what grants us the courage, the resilience, and the rock-solid certainty that we can ultimately conquer any challenge life hurls our way. The profound revelation about projective identification and its shadow over the Madeleine McCann case is a concept that can both astound and deeply intrigue, like gazing upon a shattered mosaic, where every fragment represents a delicate piece of human personality and behavior. Projective identification, as a psychological compass, is an incredibly powerful tool for mapping how individuals unconsciously project their deepest fears, desires, and insecurities onto others. In the unsettling context surrounding David Payne, this psychological casting was directed toward the McCann children, not as a direct act of pursuit, but potentially as a complex defense mechanism, a desperate attempt to manage his own crushing anxieties and inner turmoil. The scientific finding that projective identification often shares a lineage with low self-esteem and insecurity becomes a critical, illuminating pinprick of light when we attempt to decode David Payne's reported behavior. It's as though he deployed projective identification as a psychological shield, deflecting his own internal guilt and insecurity onto the external world. This not only casts a new perspective on his reported actions concerning the McCann children, but simultaneously turns the spotlight back onto us, forcing us to ask, how can we apply this crucial insight in our own lives? Picture yourself standing before a broken mirror, each jagged shard catching and reflecting a different, sometimes distorted facet of your personality and choices. Projective identification is precisely like one of those mirror pieces, capable of warping the truth and leading to profound misunderstandings of both ourselves and those around us. Yet, by bravely recognizing and comprehending this mechanism, we can begin the painstaking but rewarding work of restoring the mirror, piece by piece, unlocking a clearer truth about ourselves and others. The real-world application of projective identification in our daily lives can be nothing short of transformative. It must begin with self-reflection, honestly questioning the origins of our own personal fears and insecurities. From there, we must summon empathy and compassion to truly understand others and how they might be unknowingly using this projection. Finally, we cultivate a heightened awareness of how our own unconscious projections can ripple through and ultimately impact our relationships and the decisions we make. A moving success story that illustrates this transformative power involves a mother who, after realizing how her deep-seated insecurity was being projected onto her daughter, manifesting as excessive control, managed to shift her entire approach, dramatically improving their bond. She discovered that by addressing her own insecurities head-on, she could step into the role of a more present and truly understanding mother. Now imagine channeling that same powerful understanding into your own life. Try a simple yet profound exercise. Recall a recent situation where someone made you feel intensely anxious or insecure. Now pause and ask yourself this single clarifying question. Am I projecting my own fears and insecurities onto this person? This simple yet profound self-query can mark the powerful beginning of a personal journey towards self-discovery and transformation, granting you a clearer lens through which to view yourself and others. It is in this very moment of revelation that we start to grasp the true essence of projective identification. That it's not merely a dry psychological term, but a vibrant tool for self-reflection, empathy, and deep understanding. And it is precisely at the dynamic crossroads of psychology and real life that the true strength of the human condition is forged, the innate ability to seek, to question, and to find answers, even when navigating profound uncertainty and the vast unknown. The journey to master projective identification and see its impact in real life is only just beginning. There remains an ocean to explore, a universe to uncover, and infinite lessons to absorb. But this very quest for discovery is what propels our growth, allows us to evolve, and helps us find our authentic selves. And it is in this unwavering place of hope and optimism that we locate the core strength of the human spirit, the capacity to persevere, to learn, and to love even when facing the toughest headwinds. Now is the time to look forward with hope, armed with the knowledge that this exploration into projective identification is a lifelong voyage. And it is in this charged moment of anticipation that we urge you to look closely at your own fears and drivers, and to begin applying this hard-won knowledge to your personal world. The resulting action may ignite a new adventure, one that propels you to unexpected insights and makes you rigorously question everything you once thought you knew about yourself and others. Now that we grasp the architecture of projective identification and how it may be relevant to the Madeleine McCann case, it's vital to understand how to practically apply this insight. Picture a scenario where you desperately need to understand a person's puzzling behavior, be it a family member, a colleague, or a close friend. You observe them acting strangely, possibly casting their own fears and worries onto others. This is where projective identification, a powerful defense mechanism that can be both helpful and terribly destructive, enters the frame. To apply this knowledge practically, we must always start with self-reflection. This means dedicating time to dissecting your own fears, deep insecurities, and core motivations. A potent technique is journaling, where you record your feelings throughout the day. Over time, recurring patterns in your thoughts and actions will reveal themselves, often shining a light on where you might be projecting your own anxieties onto others. Another non-negotiable tool is empathy. When interacting with someone who is projecting, it is crucial to seek to understand the source of their emotion. This doesn't demand that you agree with their actions, but that you are able to view the situation through their emotional lens. Empathy is a skill, one that is honed through practice, and it is the bedrock for building durable, healthy relationships and resolving conflicts effectively. Furthermore, it is essential to recognize the common mistakes people make when confronted with projection. One major error is dismissing the need for empathy, confusing understanding with acceptance of harmful behavior. Another frequent misstep is failing to recognize projective identification when it is actively occurring, which guarantees misunderstandings and leaves painful conflicts unresolved. To bypass these pitfalls, we must maintain an honest awareness of our own behavioral triggers and possess a genuine willingness to listen and absorb the other person's perspective. By deploying these techniques, you will begin to observe a profound positive shift in how you handle tense situations. A powerful measure of progress is the success rate in peaceful conflict resolution. If you find yourself navigating disagreements more constructively and calmly, that's a clear indication that the techniques are embedding successfully. Another vital metric is the increased depth of empathy and compassion you feel toward others. Feeling more connected and truly understood in your interactions is a sure sign you're on the correct path. An advanced tactic for mastering projective identification is the art of using open-ended questions. Instead of asking questions that only permit a simple yes or no, pose questions that invite the other person to fully articulate their feelings and thoughts. This is a subtle hack that helps unearth the underlying fears and insecurities that are being projected, allowing you to respond with greater empathy and true constructive spirit. After mastering the foundational steps, the next crucial phase is to apply this knowledge across every domain of your life: professional challenges, family relationships, or even managing personal adversity. The core lesson to remember is that projective identification is a universal mechanism that touches everyone, and the skill to recognize and manage it is developed through consistent practice and patience. With unwavering time and dedication, you will become highly skilled at detecting and addressing these projections, which inevitably leads to deeper, more resilient relationships, more effective conflict resolution, and a richer understanding of both yourself and the world. As we arrive at the close of this deeply emotional journey, it is paramount to acknowledge how much growth and learning we've accomplished together. The truth about projective identification and its potential role in the Madeleine McCann case has gifted us a deeper, more nuanced understanding of human nature and the staggering complexity of behavior. I'll admit that when I first began this inquiry, I was driven by a sheer, insatiable curiosity and a desire to unlock the puzzles surrounding human beings. Now, having plunged into the depths of the psychology behind projection, I feel a stronger, more profound connection to the people in my life and a deeper empathy for the shared, complex challenges we all face. The path we've walked has been transformative, not just for the knowledge absorbed, but because it has compelled each of us to seriously question our own motivations and deepest anxieties. It's easy to get lost in academic studies and dense theories, but what truly changes things is how we integrate this knowledge into our daily reality. I want to validate every effort you've made in following this complex investigation and express my genuine gratitude for your dedication and willingness to engage with such intricate and sometimes uncomfortable topics. Now let's envision the powerful transformation that awaits when we commit to the principles of projective identification. Imagine the profound sense of security and confidence that washes over you when you know you possess the tools to navigate any difficult situation with true empathy and understanding. This is the life we are building, a life where understanding and empathy serve as the unshakable pillars of our decisions and our most cherished relationships. The urgency of embedding these principles into our lives is absolutely clear. Every single day is a fresh opportunity to grow, to learn, and to apply this knowledge in a tangible way. We can no longer afford the luxury of ignoring the inherent complexity of human nature or minimizing the massive impact our actions have on one another. It's time we all take proactive responsibility for our own lives and the positive ripple effect we can create in the world. After traveling this path together, reflecting on the mysteries of the Madeleine McCann case and the profound insights of projective identification, how does your heart feel about the developments, and what is the single, tangible action you are ready to take tomorrow to transform your own life and relationships for the better?